Alright, what's good, YouTube? What's good? What's happening? What's happening? Fuck shit, fuck bitch. Alright, let's get into it. One take series. We got Zanhu, our boy. It's our boy. Now, I've been hearing some talk about how this character's broken. How this character's breaking console, apparently. His brain dead. Not as much talk as Hitokiri because, let's be real, like, for other players are bitches. They don't want to deal with a mix-up. They just want to win an autopilot. You know what I mean? Which, it's cool if you want to win, but fuck. God forbid y'all put in some effort. But let's get into it now. People, I saw a lot of talk about this dodge attack, about how it's broken. But one thing I want to say is this dodge attack, I feel like, is years better than Hitokiri's dodge attack. It is an approaching tool. You know what I mean? It is definitely used as a bash punisher. You know, let's say someone's like trying to bash you in neutral and shit, or you read a move, can use this to approach and shit. And if they don't parry, it's on them. They trash. It does have a very lenient time, so you can, you know, kind of do it. You know, if you know how to delay a little bit, you can, you know, be dodging. You'd have to do it instantly. But I don't think this is OP. Like, yeah, it enables a mix-up. You know, so you get 15 damage, or, you know, oh my bad, didn't mean to do that bash. Or you can get 30 damage with a heavy, or you can even get, you know, 16 damage if you want to play it safe. But I want to know, like, what part of this is OP. Is it the fact you get a mix-up of this? Because this don't even matter. This does not even, like, if you can parry a dodge attack, then you shouldn't be worrying about the mix. And even if I hit you, nothing's guaranteed. There's no guarantee. You know, there's no nothing. At most, players will probably be able to do this on console. You know, mix up the direction. But even then, there's no guarantee. Now, the way I see Kyoshin is, I see this more as a frame trap character. I see more as like a character that will use lights, go into stance, hope that you do something, and then see the option and punish it. You know, so I'm gonna give you demonstration. Like, let's say I do light, go into stance. You know what I mean? I remain in a good offensive position to be able to enable something. So let's say that you go for like a top, let's say you go for a top light, go in, you know, parry that, you know, hit you with the light. You know, if you go for a guard break, can use the zone. You know what I mean? So it is something like this character's a frame trap character. This character uses the offense to engage into defense, then uses the defense to break you, and that's how Kyoshin wins. But I'm gonna get even more into this. I honestly do think people who call this stance OP, because people say this stance should take stamina, but whether it takes stamina or doesn't does not matter, because as a Kyoshin player, this, you know, this stance doesn't regenerate stamina, meaning you can't camp in this stance. As a player, as a Piranha player, if you see a Kyoshin like this and you don't know what they're gonna do, why would you risk your neck? Just all you gotta do is move back, get out of Kyoshin's range, then he will stop using the stance, then he has to initiate. And that's the whole key of the game. One big weakness about this stance is there's no undodgeable. No undodgeable. Nothing is undodgeable in this stance. You know what I mean? So if you see Kyoshin sit in this stance, the only thing that will make you move is this. You know, top heavy feint. But as you know, look how much stamina that takes. Look how much stamina that takes. You know? So there's not much, or there's not many times you can do this. Look how much stamina you lost for trying to do a mix. So it's like, when it comes to this character, this character definitely isn't like a mix-up heavy character like Hitokiri, but people have issue with the fact that with these lights, he can use it to frame trap you and get more into his offense. Do I think this is broken? No, I just think players don't know how to fight this character. How to counter this character too. I thought this character exactly like Hitokiri. You know, not in that heavy mix-up way, but definitely in you can punish this character if you make a read. Dispatch, you know, unsafe. You know, dispatch, unsafe and whiff. You know, parryable, undodgeables. You know, you may not be able to parry a light because it's console, you know, so you could say the lights are stupid, but every light in this game is stupid now. So you got this, and he frame trap, so he's supposed to be a character that kind of uses the system mechanic in place to bait you. And then there's a bigger mix-up game, there's a bigger Yomi or mind game. So you both have to think, you know, you can do, and then, you know, dodge attack, or you can go into stance. But it's up to you as a player to analyze the situation and use it against the Kyoshin. If, you know, I see a Kyoshin do this, that's a lot of stamina they lost. So you know that if they try and go into this stance to play more defensively, they're gonna gas out. There's only so much a Kyoshin can do before it's death. So let's say I'm in a match now, you know, I'll start off with this, you know, hit my bash, go into this, want them to react, hit them with this, then hit them with a light. If I go into stance, I can't regenerate nothing. If I block an attack, I lose my stamina. That's why I think this is fine, because this character doesn't do enough damage. Now you may think this damage is huge right here, but this is not huge damage because it's all a mix-up. Your opponent has a chance to get out of everything. You know, if they block this, then it's back to neutral. If they dodge this, unpunishable. If they dodge this, unpunishable. If they see my stance and guard break me, you know, let's say they read that I'm not gonna do shit in this stance, guard break, I'm done. Let's say that, you know, they read that I'm gonna do a zone and they parry it, they're in, you know, advantage. Or even if I whiff the zone, you know, if I whiff the zone, the other player can see, then maybe even approach with an attack or just reset. So people saying this character's broken, I think like they just don't know how to deal with the fact that this character can use the system, and it takes a very defensive minded character, you know, I mean not character but player, you know, to understand how to use this character to the best of its ability, because the stamina and the damage is weak with this character, meaning it takes multiple hits to lead yourself into good damage, you know, and it takes you to know what your opponent will do. You know, let's say I do this. Low stamina, look at the damage, look at the damage. You know what I mean? Look at the damage. That's a very common thing with this character, and even the counter attacks. The reason I'm not worried about the counter attacks is because if you think that that shit's damaging, you're a fucking idiot, and you need to learn how to like deal with shit in this game. This isn't broken. There ain't shit about this character that says broken. Now obviously 1v1 talker, I talk about 1v1s, 2v2s. You know what I mean? If there's multiple players on this character, you know, let's say it's a 2v2 and there's multiple people on this character, what is this character doing? Fully guard break vulnerable? Is he just gonna keep trying to do a conquering zone? Well, you can't spam it. You can't spam this. You have to commit to something. The only way you can do this, punish into this, back into stance. And then even then, you're losing more and more stamina trying to repeat this. And let's say you block an attack and you do this, that's more stamina for 10 damage. You know, so that's why I don't think this character is really broken. You know, I don't think this character is even an issue. In 1v1s, I think he's a great, you know, 1v1 character. You know, I think he's strong in his own aspects, but I don't think he's strong enough to be broken. I think he's just extremely good at making sure that he can engage into his game plan of using the stance, baiting out an option from the opponent and punishing them. Another defensive minded character which takes a very strong player with a good mindset to utilize these tools. There's nothing broken about this character in my opinion. You know, there's nothing really broken about this character in my opinion. Now even with the unblockable like this, even if this hits, this isn't a scary tool. But what people don't realize is everything this character does leaves him in minus. You know, minus. The only thing that's really plus is this. Plus. But most of the things that this character does is minus. So, you know, I don't really think that's really my two piece. It ain't really a deep, crazy long moveset character. I don't think there's as much, I don't think there's as much depth to this character. You know, because once you're a very defensive minded player, you have the tools, use the stance, you know, use it in a way that you can bait players out, you know, make them think something's coming when they don't think it is. You know, and it's like most of the stuff people complain about this character, like a bash and a dodge attack. The bash, as I said, defensive minded character, punishment, punishing players, you know, specific type of players that sit there and try and use hyper armor or try and, you know, charge up a bash. Let's say Warden's charging up a bash, make a read, kick him, go into offense. You know, Hitokiri trying to charge up a sweep, kick, you know, it's for them big reads, you know. And then the dodge attack, also a read. You know, this is a very read based character. You know, you get the download, do the right moves, then you're good. So yeah, like, the amount people talk about this character, you think this character really was an issue, but there's nothing about this character that's an issue. There's really nothing. You know, honestly, like, there's no crazy shit about this character. There's no issues, but this is another character that people have been complaining about. And I'm thinking, why are you gonna complain about a character that don't even have like great tools to begin with? You know what I mean? And what I mean by not great tools is there's no damage. You sacrifice damage for extreme defensive capabilities, and as a player you use this shit as a way to get through to your opponent, break down their options, read them, download them, and put them in a bad position. You think this character's broken, just like my last video. You're angry because you fought a player and you couldn't autopilot and win the match. Stop being a fucking idiot and use your brain. But god damn, like, I gotta say, like, even making the second video, you can see that the foreigner community is full of bitches. How you complaining about this character when he ain't even all that? Or ain't even all that much damage? Only shit that does real good damage is this. You know what I mean? Like, y'all complain so much about Hitokiri. Y'all complain so much about these characters. But it's like, do you ever sit down and think about how to beat them, or do y'all just sit here and talk so much shit? You know what I mean? I see so much character slander, so much shit talk about characters, but like, when it comes to y'all fucking players, y'all don't want to learn how to beat them. Instead, y'all just want to complain to get the character nerfed, and the character didn't even deserve a nerf in the first place. So this is my second video. Not much to say about this character because everything's over here. He's a punishment defensive character, perfectly made. Only buff you would ever need is just a little bit more damage on the light. I think if they made it more even, so there's not many one-shot scenarios, like, that's cool, you know. But the issue with all of this is the damage values for this character, I think, are pretty bad, because it leads to you having a lot of situations where you have to get one hit off, and you don't want to be fighting against someone with a, you know, you play a character then there's like a nut hair of health. I'll try and replicate a situation I was in. Alright, that's gonna kill, but usually, like, I'll do a whole bunch of attacks, and because like the damage values are so weird, I won't be able to, like, I would swear that I did light and it killed, and it didn't. You know, that's the only issue I have with this character, is the damage values sometimes are kind of clunky. You know, I guess they made it to balance the character out, which I'm fine with. I'm always fine with balance, but you know, that's just a me thing. There's nothing wrong with this character. Anyone who thinks there's something wrong with Kyoshin, you're a scrub. You don't know how to beat this character. You are struggling against a character that really requires a lot of reads, a lot of downloads, and yeah, there's gonna be fucking idiots on console that just do light, but we used to that shit. Stop fucking talking about fucking light spamming shit and start thinking about some of these characters. Maybe I can punish the fuck, because to be honest, he can do light into stance. You can punish the fuck out of him if you make the right read. If you don't punish him, that's on you. But that's it, bro. I'm done. This don't even need to be longer than it already is. I said my points. You got a problem with Kyoshin, you a scrub. Simple as that. Improve. Learn how these characters work. Get good. And then hopefully you won't complain as much. There are characters in this game which are stupid, and there are characters which are poorly balanced. This isn't one of them.